What is laughter yoga? Most of you, I think we've been talking about it last week. What is it even a real thing? It is a real thing. It is a research-based real thing, laughter yoga. And it is a practice involving prolonged voluntary laughter. So it's where you're making yourself laugh. It might not start out as a belly laugh. Hopefully it ends up as a real laugh, but it starts out with ha, 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 ho, 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 he, that kind of thing, where it's triggering an endorphin release. It is based on a belief and on research that shows that voluntary laughter provides the same physiological and psychological benefits as spontaneous laughter. We all know whenever you have laughed before, especially if you have had one of those where you have laughed to the point that you're hurting, or you've laughed to the point you've had tears running down your face, that is releasing endorphins, and it stops the release of cortisol and the negative type of adrenaline that we can get whenever we're releasing because of stress. We can also release adrenaline with laughter, especially if it's one of those where we are laughing to where we're bent over laughing. It's believed that eye contact and playfulness between the participants, along with forced laughter, is contagious, and it soon leads to real laughter. So again, if you will share your screen, I encourage you to. You don't have to, but that is part of the fun, is being able to see each other. Now, I'm sure all of you can think of a time that you were with someone who got tickled to the point that you then got in a laughing at them. You weren't laughing at what they were laughing at, you were laughing at them. Or you've had people do that with you, where you are so tickled you can't see straight and other people start laughing with you. I hate saying at you. So I encourage you again to participate, because if we were in person, that is part of the fun, is that you're there together, and it's like a group participation. So what are the benefits of laughter yoga? So that you will know that this is not something I am making up. This is real stuff. It is real clinical research behind laughter yoga. It has proven in studies to lower our levels of stress hormones, that cortisol I mentioned, a 6% reduction in blood pressure, and here's a pretty significant one, a 28% drop in stress levels. I'm going to show you several different types of laughter yoga. Some of them you'll be going, that doesn't seem very yoga. But what comes into it as the yoga is the breathing part of it, the way you're trying to control your breathing during it. It's very interesting. Laughter yoga can help change your mood, even in just a few minutes of trying some of these exercises. And then by releasing those endorphins, you should remain cheerful longer and in a good mood throughout the rest of the day, and hopefully laugh at more things throughout the day than you normally would. Now, I can tell you, I started writing this program last week. I finished it up yesterday sitting at home while I was watching MASH. And one of the parts of laughter yoga is watching a show and intentionally laughing. And to me, that's an easy one to laugh with. So I was practicing it at home last night, and before I knew it, I had my daughter and my husband both do, what are you doing? But we were in a good mood. It kept the mood up and light. And just knowing I was going to be teaching it today, something to look forward to. Though an endorphin release can stay with you for a long, long time. So laughter yoga, one of the things it does is it brings more oxygenated blood up to the body and brain, just like a cardio workout does, but we can do it sitting right here in our chair. And it makes you feel more energetic and relaxed. Because if you think about it, when you're laughing, it's just like when you're working out and you're forcing that oxygenated blood up to your brain. So laughter, you could actually consider exercise. So you get a good laugh in the day, you can check off that you did some exercise that day. Some more benefits of laughter yoga. It reduces stress. And when we have reduced stress, that strengthens our immune system. And that will keep us from becoming sick as often as we might. It will also make it where we will heal faster using laughter for therapy. It changes our quality of life. Laughter is considered a positive energy, and it also helps people connect, and it improves relationships. We would definitely, most of us are much more comfortable being around somebody who laughs and jokes and smiles a lot than being around somebody with the Eeyore voice that everything's bad and I'm down. And we're all going to do that occasionally, but people that are like that all the time, we get to where we don't want to be around them because it's contagious, just like someone who laughs and smiles is contagious. So that goes right with the next one, the positive attitude. Now, we know it is easy to have a positive attitude when life is good, but in 2020 or any other time, I've got to share. Yesterday, I went to the Funky Finds here in Fort Worth, the arts and crafts show at the Will Rogers, and somebody had T-shirts for sale that said, it was like a movie, and it said 2020, written by Stephen King, directed by Tarantino. And I thought, isn't that appropriate for this year? Just a year of where we can go, what else is going to happen? Life can be challenging. And we could say life has been challenging. That's when we need to laugh even more, because we may be walking around this year with a constant where our brains are just dumping that cortisol. So we need to be concentrating on laughing so that we can produce more endorphins. So it creates a positive mental state to deal with negative situations, and it gives hope and optimism. So now we're going to do some of the exercises. And again, I encourage you to do these with me. If you're feeling silly, even better. That's the whole point, is that you laugh and that we can laugh with each other, not at each other. So laughter yoga starts by just practicing some good deep breathing exercises. So Kathy, you came on just in time. I see my friend Kathy has joined. Excellent. So first thing we want to do with us, whenever we talked about doing deep breathing, we talked about that deep breathing needs to come from your belly and not from your chest. We tend to be chest breathers, which means we're not taking a good deep breath. There's Jamie joining us. Right in time, Jamie. So if you would, place your hands more like on your diaphragm below your ribs so that you can feel that your stomach, we want our stomach to rise and fall as we take these deep breaths. If you catch your chest going up and down, your breaths are too shallow. So we want to be taking belly breaths. And we're going to take a few full inhales and exhales through our nose and make sure that we're expanding and contracting our diaphragm. So if everybody will just take 2 to 3 really deep inhale and exhales. Hopefully that's just going to start to slow us down. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do a few more breaths, but this time we're going to inhale for a count of 4 and then exhale for a count of 4. So it's going to slow us down even more. So we're going to inhale, count to 4, exhale, count to 4. If you'll do that twice. All right, this next time, one of the breathing exercises that we taught earlier in the year was when we would exhale, we would actually give a big sigh when we would exhale. So we would inhale, and then as we would exhale, we would, like we were just releasing all that air. This time, instead of it being a big sigh, we want to do it with a laughter. And it can be a forced laughter. It can be a ho, ho, ho. It can be anything that you want it to be, but it's a forced laughter. So we're going to take our deep breath in, and then when we do the exhale, we're going to do a laughter. And let's do that a couple of times. So we'll do an inhale and then you exhale with a chuckle or some laughter. So let's try that together. So let's inhale. Again, a forced laughter, and you'll get to where you feed off of each other, but that's kind of the beginning of what laughter yoga is. You can also, while you're doing that, you can be saying a mantra or chanting a mantra. And some of the examples were on the inhale, you're thinking forgive, and on the exhale, forget. Another one was live and then let live. And my favorite one was healing, inhale, and releasing, exhale. So as you continue to take those deep breaths, you're changing your thoughts. We're switching off our to-do list and just taking a few minutes to refocus. So the next part of laughter yoga involves clapping, and there's a reason that it involves clapping. Think about whenever we're at a sporting event or we're at a concert. And in the United States, in this country, one of the ways that we show that we are excited or pleasure or we're so happy is we clap. But look what happens when we clap. Clapping actually stimulates acupressure points on our hands and it releases energy in us. Have you ever been at an event and as you're getting excited and clapping, the more you clap, you're actually releasing endorphins as you clap. So with laughter yoga, we're going to practice. It has, the woman we're going to watch on the video calls it cha-cha clap because it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And also you move while you're doing that. So if you're standing, you can walk around and make a circle like a, if you're sitting, you can go from side to side. So you might do. So while you're doing that, you're also practicing your breathing. You're taking some deep breaths. So first, let's just do the cha-cha clapping a couple of times with making sure that you're still breathing while you do it. Hey, Susan. All right, so let's do that first. Just the. Making sure that you take some deep breaths because it could be easy to start taking some shallow breaths. Now we're going to chant while we clap, and it's ho, ho, ha, ho, ho, ha, 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 ho, ho, ha, 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 ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. So again, if you're walking around, you can be making the circle and doing the ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. You'll crack yourself up if you do it. Like I said, I did this in my office earlier and caught myself in here just laughing, laughing, laughing. Make sure you're breathing from your diaphragm with your deep inhales and exhales as you clap and chant. So here are some different variations, and this can get very interesting, these 3 different variations. The first one is called lion laughter. It's sticking out your tongue fully, keeping your mouth open, stretching your hands out, actually flexing them like you're making claws, and you roar, and then you laugh. So again, it's getting us to move, it's getting us to be silly, and getting us to laugh. You should feel a stretch in your facial muscles and your tongue and your throat. And this is part of, if we were together, you do this early in the practice because it makes people loosen up and be silly. So you open your mouth as wide as you can, you stretch out your tongue, you roar, and you roar. Well, see, it'll make you laugh. Also, you can do a playful song as you clap the cha-cha clap. So it's the 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And one of the songs that was recommended was the Good Ship Lollipop. So if you know that song, because you can do on the good ship, it's a nice trip to the candy shop. So that whole song, as you're singing it, it has that cha-cha rhythm. And it also had Jingle Bells or any other song that you can think of, so that you're singing and you're clapping and you're moving. And then the third one that I found was one called a bowel exercise. And it, again, really gets your face moving. What's interesting is I had heard this one before, for toning the muscles in your face. Women especially, we don't like things right here hanging down our jowls. And if you do these big expressions of A, E, I, O, U, over express your face, it works the muscles in your face. But for laughter yoga, you actually say the letter and then you draw it in front of you. So you would do A, E, I, O, U. I'm glad we're recording this. It'll be fun to go back and watch later. And then here's some called value-based laughter. And then we're going to watch a short video and do some laughter yoga with an expert in laughter yoga. So there's one called embarrassment laughter. Think of an embarrassing incident and retell it out loud. Raise your hands and clap as you tell the story. We have all had those things happen to us where at the moment when it happened, we were very embarrassed. But as we tell it later, we can laugh about it. We have it happen with dementia all the time, where in the moment that was not fun because we were getting ready to go to church. And I walked in and my husband has his toothpaste all over his face, getting ready to shave. Wasn't funny at the moment, but I can look back and go, oh my goodness, and kind of laugh about it. Deborah shared the story of her husband setting the house on fire while he was out there doing the barbecue. It wasn't funny at the moment, but as we were telling it, she could look back and find some humor in it. So telling some stories that might even make us blush a little bit, but that we can now find laughter in. This is the one I was talking about earlier, literally laughing out loud or applauding with a laugh track to a sitcom. So things like Golden Girls, MASH, Cheers, Carol Burnett, Friends, I Love Lucy, Andy Griffith, any of those that have that laugh track. And I did this last night while I was watching it because I had MASH on and I was intentionally, when the laugh track would laugh, making myself at least kind of chuckle with it. And then apology or forgiveness exercise. This is an exercise where you think of someone that you might want to say, I'm sorry to, or that you want to say, I forgive you. And you actually use their name. And this is something you're doing when you're by yourself. So if I were talking to Jamie and I might be saying, I'm sorry, Jamie, but then I'm hugging and I'm hugging myself and I'm laughing as if I had her here with me. So that is a form of laughter yoga. But now I want to make sure to get plenty of time to get to my friend here who does laughter yoga. I think you will enjoy this. What I'm going to have to do is stop sharing and then share it again because I forgot to share with audio. Share computer sound. I'm glad I thought of it before I started it. Okay, so if everybody's ready, she's standing, but you can certainly do everything that she's going to do while you are in a chair. So I will get this started. Jamie, if you'll just give me a thumbs up to make sure you can hear it.
The second step of there are 4 steps to laughter exercise. The first step is clapping. We're going to begin by clapping with a full palm to palm, finger to finger clap. Let me demonstrate that and join in. It goes like this. Feel the energy massage in your palms and your fingertips. Excellent. You can bring that to a close now. Perfect. Now we're going to add a special rhythm. It's the cha-cha rhythm. I'll demonstrate and then join in with me. It goes like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Join me. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and yay! Fantastic. Now we're going to add laughter to that. Remember, your body doesn't know the difference between genuinely laughing and just making laughing sounds. You still get all the same health benefits. So let's dive in. It goes like this. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Join in. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Keep it going. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. One more. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. And yay! Terrific. This is a wonderful chant because your participants can do it at their own pace. You can modify this chant to make it a little more slow and gentle for participants. I'll show you that, and I'll also show you that variation in a series of 3s. This chant is always performed in series of 3. So let me show you the slower variation now. It goes like this. Ho, ho, and a ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, and a ha, ha, ha. One more. Ho, ho, and a ha, ha, ha. And yay! Fantastic. You can also simplify this chant. I'll show you and join in with me, please. It goes like this. Ho, ho, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha. One more. Ho, ho, ha, ha. And yay! Terrific. The second step of laughter exercise is deep breathing. When we're engaging in breathing exercises, I want to invite you to breathe from your belly. That's our goal. If your participants are standing, invite them to bend their knees slightly. You're going to breathe in through the nose and sigh out through the mouth, all right? I like to stretch as I breathe, but you could also put your hands on your belly to feel your belly breathing. All right, let's take a nice deep breath in together, breathing in and sigh out. Let's enjoy that again. Breathe in and sigh out. Notice how my exhalation is longer than my inhalation. That's something that you're going to want to encourage your participants to do through leading them through the breathing exercises. You may also wish to combine this breathing exercise with intentional laughter. That's one sure way to get a long exhalation. Let me show you how that works. Breathe in like this, and then just laugh on the way down. Terrific. Let's do it again. Breathe in. Just laughing. Fantastic. Now we're ready to introduce some childlike playfulness into our laughter exercise. We're able to initiate our childlike playfulness through this special chant. I'll show you, then join in with me, all right? It goes like this. Very good, very good, yay! Let's do it again. Very good, very good, yay! Stupendous. When you're performing this chant, you always want to do it in sets of 2s. That way, if a participant didn't begin right away the first time, they have a second time to join in and feel successful. If this chant is painful for your participants to reach up overhead, they can also perform it in a different way. Let me show you that variation now. It goes like this. Very good. Very good. Yeah. One more time. Very good. Very good. Yeah.
Oh, mercy. So that gives you an example, some more examples of the laughter yoga. So I hope that you enjoyed it. Again, it is something very different. It's something that you can do at home, but it's just, I think it is, the point is just to keep our mind on what can happen whenever we do intentionally laugh. And just like we found, the more that we did it, there were lots of smiles going, I can't believe it. You know, I was sitting there thinking of cheerleading, yay, whenever she was doing that. So,
and I've got a toddler granddaughter, so I was thinking about how we encourage her.
Jazz hands, jazz hands. Our journal prompt this week, for those of you that are keeping a journal, is who or what brings you comfort and why? And when we think of the word comfort, can't we think of several things? I put some examples on here. My first thought was comfort food. That brings me comfort, but why do all those carbs bring me comfort? Kind of thinking through comfort foods. A lot of times actually doing some physical exercise, doing what we just did with laughter, that brings me comfort, knowing that I can still put on shows and have laughter. Teddy bears, something along those lines, an item that brings comfort. I love Snoopy. So Snoopy brings me comfort. I have Snoopys all around me. A long hot bath can bring comfort. And then there are people that can bring comfort. So I encourage you this week of Thanksgiving, to be thinking about those people and the things that you are so thankful for and why. And then finally, there's our information as always, so that you can get in touch with us here at the West Center.